Hello YouTubers, we're going to be doing another CCNA course number 2. This is the practice exam or practice test for the chapter 2 packet tracer. We're going to be doing some basic routing and switching interface configuration, doing some default routes, some floating routes, different things like that. Alright, let's hop into it. No, let's not waste any time. So the first thing we got to do is we have to configure this main router. So let's go ahead and click on one of our media. We need a console cable right over to it. Open the terminal session. Here we go. So first things first, let's give this thing a host name. Let's spell it correctly. And let's see, we want to prevent this router from attempting to resolve unrecognized command line interface commands. So all we have to do for that is we say no IP domain lookup. Enter. Okay, protect the device. We want to use an enable password. Enable secret Cisco. There we go. Looks like we want to spell that a little bit better. Okay. Now we're going to do the line, console line. And we're going to protect it with a password class. Don't forget our login command. Let's jump over the VTY lines 0 through 4. And we're going to do the same thing. Password class login. Okay, prevent all the passwords from being viewed in clear text. Okay, so let's exit our interface configuration there. And we're going to do service password encryption. Enter. Okay, what's next? Provide descriptions for all the interfaces that are going to be active. Well, let's do that as we go versus other way around. Configure minute IPv4 and IPv6 address. Okay, let's jump up here. Main. Start with the number 1 on the S. On the S000 interface S000. Description. Let's see, where's S000 going? So that's the primary path. Press enter on that. And the IP address is going to be 128.107. Oh, what am I using that for? .107.0.1/30, so that's a 255, 255, 255, 252. IPv6 address is 2001 DB8. And you know what? We're going to just save a little bit of time here. Let's give it another colon. And let's just copy that because we're going to be using that a lot. 211/64. Address. Gosh, these things are so technical. Okay, let's do a link local address of FE80:1. Link local. And we'll issue the no shutdown commands. Let's top over to the next interface, S001. And it's going to interrupt us. There we go. Okay, so let's give it a description. S001 is going to be our backup route to the internet. Okay, so our IP address is going to be 128.107.0.5/30, so that's 255, 255, 252. IPv6 address. Paste. See, it's coming in handy. 64. Let's do it again. Link local. No shutdown. Next interface is the 011. What's the description there? That one's to building 1 router. Description. Connects to building 1 router. IP address of 10.10.20.1 255, 250, and 2. IPv6 address. Paste. 1, 1, 1. FE80 1 link local. No shuts. Okay, so that one's configured as far as the interfaces are concerned. What else does it want us to do? We want to configure 2 directly connected static routes on main to reach the 2 IPv4 LANs, and then they say they want us to do the same things for the IPv6 LANs on building 1. So, well, we'll just leave that there. I think it's a little easier to do it off the topology. So we have to exit that interface editing menu, get back to that global config, and we're going to say IP routes. We're going to give it the route. We're going to need to reach this LAN and that LAN. So the network address now is 10.10.1.0, 255, 255, 255.0 for that /24. And we got to give it an exit interface of S011. We're going to do the same thing for that 2. All we have to change is that 2, and everything else should remain the same. Enter. Okay, now we're going to do IPv6 routes. Let's give it paste. So we need to reach the 1A /64 network, and we're going to give it that exit interface of S011. Enter. Okay, let's do it again. Press the up arrow. We're just going to change that. The only thing that's different is that B. So let's change that. Change that to a B. Enter. Okay. Man, we're good. Configure directly connected IPv4 default static route to reach hosts outside the network, meaning gotta get to the internet. To the cloud. So we need to do that both for the IPv4 and IPv6. We're going to give the floating routes a metric of 2 on both of those. So those are the floating ones are going to be the ones coming out the S001 interfaces. The backup routes. Okay, so we're going to say IP routes. We're going to give it the quad 0 address and the quad 0 subnet mask, and we're going to say the exit interface is going to be S000. So if you don't know where to send the packet, send it this way. We're going to do the same thing again. We're going to give it a different interface right here for the backup, and then we're going to add that metric of 2. Okay, let's do it for the IPv6 now. And that's /0 exit interface of 000 S0. There we go. And let's do the same thing for the next wire. 2. Got it. So we just changed the interfaces and added the 2. Okay, now we're going to do, looks like we're going to change over to the building 1 router.